February 24th, High Prosecutor's Office, Room 1202. I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet.
There he is! Looks like he's writing something.
What are you doing here? He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me?
Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you.
That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So, what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. You familiar with this picture? This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for him. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy.
Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me.
Yes?
The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding. It's a little different than yours.
Yes, you're right. Ah, I remember now.
Remember what?
That was what the official Prosecutor's Trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design.
A story?
Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on.
What about this autopsy report?
No. Got anything to say about the SL9 incident? No, you do not. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I can do can erase that fact.
But you didn't know, did you?
I mean that the evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error and my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have.
Mr. Edgeworth?
I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial.
Tomorrow is the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this.
What do you mean?
The list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long.
It's only half as long as most lists? That is odd.
After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time.
Say, we saw a picture taken around that time. That picture. Something seems strange about it.
Oh, we already presented it.
Could you tell us again about what happened that day?
The day Detective Goodman was murdered?
You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right?
I never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one.
Because you were awarded this?
Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department.
You finished up at the office?
Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back.
Take something back?
This.
Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he?
Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office.
That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because Chief asked you to?
That's right. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with two characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story?
I have. Me? Oh, sure, everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it though, for Emma's sake?
Very well. Long ago in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day he presented the king with two items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed would withstand any weapon.
Wait a minute. Those can contradict each other!
Very perceptive, but then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. And thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born.
Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and the broken knife symbolize...
Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion. Even if it results in something as ugly as this.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield?
You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished.
Chief Gant. King of Prosecutors Trophy updated in the court record. 2 years ago, the halberd was removed at the Gant's behest, giving it its current form. Don't mind me, Edgeworth. I'm just gonna clean up your litter. I wonder what he was writing before. Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look. Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there. Just distract him. I'll check it out. Hey, Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground.
Hold on, first let me see what this girl's doing crawling around my feet.
He didn't even look.
What? A letter of... If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says, letter of resignation.
Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean...
I'm tired, Wright. I feel as if something inside me has died.
But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault.
I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either.
Uh-oh. I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. Oh no. Edgeworth discarded the letter of resignation. He's serious.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire. Apparently I was so caught up in the smoke, I lost sight of the truth.
Edgeworth.
The others are right. I have no right to serve as a prosecutor.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you are only doing your job.
I've always made my own decisions about what I can or cannot do. That hasn't changed. Forgiving myself is something I cannot do.
Uh-oh. I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. February 24th. Prosecutor's Office. Underground parking lot. Excuse me. Would either of you care for a quarter-pound of roast beef? Miss Starr! I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kinda like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk. Still, I never thought you'd digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial is involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't be attributed to mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know, that little scene I happened to witness? The incident Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. Miss Starr's hatred towards Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. Nope, doesn't have anything else to tell us. Joe Dark. That's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though. Must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lana Skye. My sister? The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by the legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gant. That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why I was so shocked over how it turned out. You mean, with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret. But you don't have proof anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. And that's my take on the matter. She was being used? Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Gant led the investigation, with Lana second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. His magnetism? By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence? You mean... Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him though. I take it she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would ever have recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why. I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief. That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as a chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control. And then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean, that's why Lana was transferred? If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how can he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude. There must have been a reason for her change. At last. I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Starr. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. February 24th, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Oh, you're back. You're still here? I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Ruined coffee, copying files. Turn it into a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. Oh, that DJ. Gotta admire your persistency, but mine says still no. I'm not letting you in the chief's office, period. Be my neck on the line. That office is the last crime scene of the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there. Is there something we can do to make the detective change his mind? What's this crumpled up piece of paper? No way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious! Is he ever not serious? I can't believe they pushed him this far. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible. When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice too. But I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we betrayed him. Detective. That's it. I made up my mind. But... Here, take my ID card. We can't do that if someone found out. They wouldn't just let you off the hook with another lost item report. Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated. What? So at least let me do this. For Mr. Edgeworth's sake. Alright, detective. Thank you. Gumshoe's ID tucked swiftly into pocket. Police department ID card. Allows access to the areas of the police department open to detectives. Sergeant Dick Gumshoe. Detective Gumshoe isn't very photogenic, is he? Whatever you do, just don't say that to his face. Look, his eyes are half shut. Yeah, and his mouth is half open. Hey, each of his shirt buttons is off a notch. And he's got the narrow end of his tie in front. I think this goes beyond being photogenic, Gumshoe. Did we ever read that autopsy report? Neo Marshall, 27 male, 7 to 7:30 p.m. Single stab wound piercing heart and lung. Died from blood loss in under 10 minutes. Weapon found and wound was missing tip. February 24th, Police Department. Chief's Office. Here goes, Mr. Wright. Click. Beep. We're in. If anyone finds us now, check the Gumshoe's a goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Ah! Detective Gumshoe! What are you doing sneaking up on us like that? I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came too. If you're here, then what's the point of giving us your ID card? Gumshoe's ID crushed and rendered unusable in pocket. Hey, don't do that to my card! I didn't even get a chance to come in here. So I figured I better look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now. You really do want to get fired, don't you? Not if we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out. I got a bad feeling about this. Yep, that's the portrait. Taken on that day 2 years ago, the day Joe Dark ran out of the questioning room and tried to kill Emma. After receiving his award trophy, Mr. Marshall took a picture here. Then went along with Chief Gant to question Doc. And never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later. Gee, you think? These shells are mostly empty. Lana must have cleaned them out when she was transferred over to the prosecutor's office. There's an old picture frame on the left shelf. Hey! This is when Lana and I went to that theme park. Look at that giant window. Makes you want to crash through it and jump outside. This is the 15th floor. I know, I was just saying. Saying what? Ever since making detective, I always dreamed about doing something like that. Note to self, Detective Gumshoe has a lot of dreams. As long as he doesn't go crashing through that window when he gets fired. Don't say that! This was Lana's desk. It sure is tidy. Lana's always been a meticulous cleaner. There's not even any dust on it. Looks like someone's still keeping it clean. Does Lana ever come back here? No. Chief Gant must still keep it clean in memory of that partnership. They were the stuff legends are made of. Even in memory of her and memory of the crime. The Chief's organ shows a sight to behold. Occasionally we hear him playing it from the Criminal Affairs Department. It's on the 2nd floor, and this is the 15th floor of an entirely different building. When a detective screws another chief, calls him to his office, and makes him listen to the organ for hours. What's so bad about that? Music suits the soul. After that, the detective can't hear anything for days except for the ringing in their ears. So it's an internal punishment, literally. But aren't the chief's ears affected? He never listens to anyone anyway. That's beside the point. can see pretty far from 15 stories up. If you were to drop that suit of armor from here...
At first the chief wanted to use stained glass for this window.
Really? Why didn't he?
They say he changed his mind because he wouldn't be able to see the view.
Oh. Stained glass or not, it's a huge window. This is a real deal, isn't it? This armor and these weapons?
It sure is, pal. The chief doesn't care for imitations.
First a pipe organ, now this armor. You know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room? What? You mean we're paying for this? That's it, I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes. You're underage, you don't pay taxes.
Shh, careful of what you say. Who knows, the chief may be hiding in this armor as we speak.
I don't think he'd fit him there. Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out.
Cut it out, you guys don't know how scary that guy can be.
I don't know, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk. Speaking of that, we were here earlier.
Oh, it's you two.
Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. I wonder what he was reading.
This looks like a list of evidence.
A list of evidence?
In most cases, the list runs as twice as long as this, though.
Hey, look at the case name.
Huh? SL9 incident. I wonder what this is doing here.
Hold on, detective. What did you just say?
I said, I wonder what...
No, about the evidence list.
Normally they're twice as long? That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence.
A half-size list of evidence.
The list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long.
What would the other half of the list be doing here? I knew it! The chief must be hiding something about that case.
It would appear so.
Evidence list. List of evidence in the SL9 incident. Was ripped in half, so this part is all I got. We found this inside a drawer. A list of evidence from the SL9 incident. Mr. Edgeworth had the other half of that list. What would this list be doing here? We better take a little more into this list. Oh, something on the back. I wonder what this is. Looks like someone drew some kind of sketch here. What is it? Did you find something? Can't make it out. I better keep quiet about it for now. Huh? Oh, no, it's nothing. Why are your eyes moving about like that, Mr. Wright? Better not forget about this picture. Now for the very conspicuous safe. This is a safe, isn't it?
Safe. That word is ripe with intrigue.
Okay, if you say so. Looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it. A 7-digit number. I think I just might know what it is.
You know what it is?
I have a hunch.
Oh, I know. You want to try my birth date. It's...
I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. Input code. This is a terrible code. Bingo. What number did you enter?
Whose birthday was that, pal?
7777777. The final ID card number on that record. What? The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day.
You mean 7777777?
Wait, that's 6 sevens.
That ID number?
I think you're 1 7 shy this time. This can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number. Say, anyone care to look inside?
Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away?
Look, it's a
Shot from a broken cup.
This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? There's something else in there too. What's this? Looks like a piece of leather cloth. This is a handprint, isn't it?
Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. Did you get cheap made up the design?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, it was just a thought.
Is that it? This is all that was to save?
Apparently so. It's empty now. A piece of cloth with a handprint on it, and a broken shot from a cup.
They look like pieces of evidence.
Yeah, but unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, I'm afraid I can't let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here.
Great. Now I have to prove their relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SL9 incident? Come on, there's gotta be something we can show the detective.
Well, there was... Where'd it go? Here it is. The unstable jar. Alright, we have to actually present it.
Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar?
I remember when the three of us put that back together. Oh, those were the days.
It's kind of early to be nostalgic. Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case?
That's right. One of the shots had an SL9 incident sticker on it.
Wouldn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found?
You mean this one? That was in the safe?
Yes, that one. That was in the safe.
Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits.
Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this.
Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do.
Mr. Wright, here's some glue. If I can piece this together again. Am I just carrying this pot with me and everything here? How do I have the pockets for these? The proof Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. There! Fits like a charm. That of course means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in his safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident.
Hey guys, get a load of this!
What is it?
This piece you just attached? It's different from the others.
There's a reddish line on it.
A reddish line. It's blood. I don't get it. Why would Chief Gant hide this in his safe?
Unstable jar updated in the court record. Evidence from the SL9 incident. Final fragment found in Chief Gant's safe. Blood traces. Hey, look here. It's hard to make out, but there's a dark red stain here. Looks like blood. This piece the Chief has is different, though. The blood stains on the other pieces are just spots. But this one's a line. That is odd. Let's ask on the other side of the room. Was that your sister's? Oh yeah, we didn't actually talk to Gumshoe. Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana. On that day 2 years ago. Is anyone using it now?
No sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene.
That's a strange reason to leave it there. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. Told us so himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time. I see. So ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk? No one except Chief Gant. And the cleaning lady who's in here each morning. So 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Looks like the one we found. Can I ask you something? Sure. You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SO9 crime scenes? I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it? Why do you ask? You don't think... Nah, you wouldn't be... No. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay, now then, let's look around a bit more. Hey, hold on! Not so fast, buddy! Huh? What is it? When someone tells you don't worry about it, you're supposed to stop bothering you, pal! You don't just let it go at that! Sorry. This guy's starting to get on my nerves. Everyone's getting on everyone's nerves today. Okay, so what's bothering you? You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you? What? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him? Chief Gant. So it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings. Yet. There you go, ignoring me again. Whoops, meant to present that. I feel a lot better now that the job's complete. But it only raises another question. What was the piece of it doing in the chief's safe? More importantly, why wasn't there any money in there? Isn't that what safes are for anyway? I have a feeling the outcome of tomorrow's trial just might hinge on this. What happened to the other one? Oh, the leather thing. That's what the chief was reading before, isn't it? You know, when we first came in here? Yeah, looks like the right side of the form's been torn off. So Mr. Edgeworth's list really was only half of the whole thing. Something else is bugging me more than that. Take a look at the back of that form, pal. The back? Oh, we already saw that. Like a Gumshoe? I'd like you to take a look at this. Hey, I know what that is! So you want to take some fingerprints? That's a great idea, detective. Alright, go to town, sheesh. What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that? Go ahead, take my fingerprints. It's not your fingerprints we want to take. Huh? Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about that cloth we found in the safe. Oh! I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Sheesh, where's your sense of humor? Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Then, once it's been absorbed into the prints, blow the rest away. This is where we would use the DS's feature of the mic, if we were playing on a DS. Right, let's get this over with. Let's look for a good print. This one. Is that not enough? There we go. Let's see, not Damon Gant. Definitely not Mike Weekends. Nope, 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 nope. Yes, Emma Sky. Comparison complete. Match found. No. How can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here? Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they? Huh? Oh, it seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match. Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints. Hey you, over here. What's going on here? What are that kid's prints doing inside the cheap safe? Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now. Here, maybe you should hold on to this. Piece of cloth folded and added to the court record. Found in cheap can safe. Evidence for something. But what? Bears Emma Sky's prints. This is a handprint, right? Yeah, someone left behind an oil stain on the fabric. Whoever it was, they must have had a really oily hand. Mr. Wright, think about it scientifically. Huh? A lot more likely explanation is the person slipped and fell on a freshly waxed floor, getting wax all over their hand. Well, that would account for this amount of oil, I guess. I don't see what's so scientific about it, though. It happens, you know. I always slip on the floors at school after they've waxed. Well, was I any help? Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. Now, that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right, you in the coat? Gee, can't! We didn't think you'd be back so soon. Fortunately, I am a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run right into a pole. Just then I thought of a certain detective. You mean me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave. Yes, sir. Sorry. Oh, you in the coat? Me, sir. Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But, sir... Now, get out. Yes, sir. We'll be on our way too, then. Wait, you. The one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet. Me, sir? I'd like a word with you. But, sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet. You with the spiky hair? You're free to go. Mr. Wright! Look, pal, if I told you once, I told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it. Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. But why is she kept eerily silent about it all this time? Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the Chief again. Later, pal. After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions. So she'll be busy for the rest of the day. February 24th, Detention Center, Visitor's Room. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. What you told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words.
Mia did a good job of mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right.
Edgeworth.
Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term you use, I believe.
Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. I have to admit I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual.
What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting this person?
Protecting? No. I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence.
For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, whom may I ask is this person you're speaking of? The one I am supposedly so frightened of. What is this person's name? Well, Miss Skye? Mr. Wright, you are addressing the Chief Prosecutor. Do not forget your place.
I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans.
My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he was respectable, then tell me something.
Why would he try to hide his crimes?
His crimes?
Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence.
Of course, these are serious offenses.
Why is it though that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned?
Chief Gant?
Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was...
me.
I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but also one other. Damon Gant.
If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case.
Well, I found the evidence list. I just found this list in the safe in the chief's office. This jar piece, and this piece of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him?
Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised. I cannot disobey the Chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder.
Why not?
Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate.
In the murder of Detective Goodman.
Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside of the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car.
Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes. You were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman.
Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk's lock was broken, and I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body.
The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife?
No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it.
The knife from the SL9 incident. Serial killer Joe Dark's knife.
I couldn't just leave that knife in him. So I took it out and stabbed him with another knife.
That would be Edgeworth's knife.
That's right.
even though he was already dead. My hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand. Yes, it seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Miss Star, huh? Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that, by whatever means possible. So, you hid Dark's knife. The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. In Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Right. Then I called my sister. To tell her what happened, and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least, I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean... Not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial, there's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. Gotta get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. To be continued.